Santa Lucia, volare, funicolio, sole mio, torna a Sorrento. Domani se ne andiamo.
No.
Domani se ne andiamo. Ok.
Che? Sing the melody. Maybe I remember.
Do you want to sing? Ah, c'è la loro suonare, no, we don't.
C'è una canzonare e vuoi venire?
Facciamo qua. Ok, and now Miss Elisabetta sing for you Santa Lucia. Do you know Santa Lucia? Yes, we don't know Santa Lucia.
Amor This is part of our group here. These are the people looking at the Tivoli Garden.
Political center, you can say. And you see it is below us. We will turn around again this street the other way around the opposite direction in a few moments, but we have to go to the Piazza Venezia. But here, for example, on the right hand side, the Forum of Trajan, Emperor Trajan, you see it is below. People of the Roman days during the time of Trajan, they were walking about 10 feet below the level we are driving this bus, because those roads in the medieval days are built on top of the Roman days, you know. And the column there coming up in the distance on the right, that is the victory column for Emperor Trajan. And think about again Paris, the Place de la Vendôme, you know. It was just a copy from victory columns you see here on the right hand side. On the left, and that you go to see in a few months, that is the former papal palace, and it was used by Mussolini as his headquarters. He declared war from the little tiny balcony there in the middle. He declared war to France and England, and you see it straight ahead of us. Coming up again on the right, we'll turn here to the left in a moment, and then in a moment we will stop the bus for a moment in the middle of the square if we can. And first of all, you see this big brown building, you know, medieval palace, papal palace. Okay, the balcony between the two banners of exhibitions of Caravaggio, that is an artist. But look to the left also. Look to the left. Look to the left. You think it is the Roman days. It is not. It is the national monument dedicated to Vittorio Emanuele, the first king of a unified Italy. You know, and it is nicknamed the wedding cake. It looks like a wedding cake if you have a little bit of imagination. It was only built in the 1800s and completed at the beginning of this century. You see the horse and the man on top of the horse in the middle. That is the first king of a unified Italy, Vittorio Emanuele II of the House of Savoy. And between the, on both sides, by the way, not in between, but on both sides of the wreath, you see those two little figures? You see the wreath in the middle under the horse, under the statue? Yeah? And two men standing on both sides.
There,
That's the eternal flame for the unknown soldiers, and those guards are there every day, every night. 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And here on the right hand side, again we turn out to the left, you see the balcony where Mussolini speaks from
right
and
there.
where Mussolini declared war from, on the right, that little tiny balcony.
Yeah, that's good.
The national monument dedicated to Vittorio Emanuele II, the wedding cake.
That was our landmark.
That was what?
Our landmark. So we could find our way back to the hotel.
Oh.
Arena in the world, probably, the Colosseum. It was built, ladies and gentlemen, the Colosseum was an arena to entertain the Romans. Here on the right, by the way, you see also the Capitol Hill behind the trees. The Palatine Hill is straight ahead of us at the far end. The Capitol Hill here with the square tower is the tower of the City Hall, and the Forum of Julius Caesar here on the right below us. But the Colosseum was to entertain the people of Rome. You know, the Romans had a very good idea. They said we have to feed the people and we have to entertain the people, and then maybe we get it all in grip. And they built a Colosseum. This was built between 72 and 80. 8 years time. You hear much more about it tomorrow, but it was 8 years only. And it was built by 15,000 Jewish slaves. They did a job. Here, by the way, on the right-hand side, with all the arches, is a basilica. The word basilica is always related to churches nowadays, but basilica was a meeting hall for the Roman days. It was, the Romans were not religious at all, and it was just a style of construction with the arches, roofs, and the arches they used to support the between the Colosseum and the Forum. There we go. Arch of Constantine. Arch of Triumph Paris is just copied from this one here on the right. Now, this was built between 72 and 80. and it was done by 15,000 Jewish slaves. It could hold over 50,000 people inside. And those people, they bought tickets for the gladiator fights, you know, and they went to the arch with the number above the arch. You can't see it in the dark really, and you see what pollution is doing to the stones. But above the arches on the ground level, you have Roman figures. So you bought a ticket, you had the Pope. Nowadays it is a museum. It is a little bit changed in shape maybe, but originally a mausoleum of Emperor Hadrian. Castello Sant'Angelo as they name it nowadays. And this road, now in a few moments we turn to the left, and then I will continue those days. You were getting 45, you were already lucky.
St. Peter's Basilica.
But he stays.
That's the Pope's pad.
Okay, now you see the fence here on the right hand side? If you go over the fence, you're in a different country. Those people you see walking there, they are in the Vatican City. That is the St. Peter's Basilica, St. Peter's Square. The colonnades are done by Bernini. You see the colonnades all going around.
Sistine Chapel. This is a porcelain kneeling bench. It's the stairwell out of the Vatican.
You're gonna get a picture of all heads, bald heads.
Maybe not. Don't look down at it, it's dizzy.
We're still on, and they simply use them
And they use the old
like that.
Roman
Now I want to show you another kind of recycling. Sometimes instead recycling pieces of buildings or look to the right. There are two beautifully preserved temples. The rectangular temple of Portunus, the circular temple of Hercules, both of the 1st century BC. Perfectly preserved because transformed altogether in Christian chapels. To the left, you see the opposite example of recycling, a church built in the 8th century AD, which is totally built with materials coming from buildings which were here around. And the palaces of the emperors. Those are the ruins of the buildings which were the residence of the imperial palace, the residence of the emperors. The Roman emperor, the first Roman emperor, Augustus, built up there his house. The other emperors after him continued to add sections, new wings, new parts of the building that soon occupied the whole hill. So this hill is almost totally covered by the palace of the emperors. The word palace itself comes from the Latin palatium, but palatium means the house of the Palatine, the house of the emperors. So the word and the Circus Maximus, chariots of 4 horses that were absolutely dramatic. You know, the games were passionately followed also because there were always accidents and so on. If if you remember Ben-Hur, the movie, well, you know what I notice that the ruins, which we might expect the Circus Maximus area still preserves, are still underground. I want you to keep this in mind to imagine how the ancient forum looked like before any kind of excavation would be made. And now to the Colosseum. Once again, like before, now at the Colosseum, as I told you, let us stay absolutely together, because the entrance ticket is one for the whole group. This allows us sun here at the Colosseum. If by chance someone is tired, does not want to come to the Colosseum, or has been already, or whatever other reason, I mean, it's up to you. The only thing I am, well, I want to remark.
Walk up the stairs.
Okay, the Avian Way is back there.
Well, I don't know where that is, but I know where the arch is. It's Constantine's arch, and that's the forum.
It's feeding.
That's all right.
We're getting back to boats. That's how they do it.
That's all right. You never get a clear spot, yes.
Okay, here was this place where the trees are, where the statue of Nero stood. There's the arch. And that statue is 90 feet high of Nero. This is the Temple of Hadrian. And Venus. This is the original cobblestone. There goes Brad and Brian over it.
Because at the time,
Good view. And this was the road of Titus.
Like coming till the Arch of Titus. This is where we go, where you see the arch.
This is the Arch of Titus.
See the forum from above. Then we return back on our first. So if by chance someone does not feel like coming still up there,
And this way was built to connect the forum and his arch.
fine. So in case someone does not feel like coming till up there, wait around here.
And the Colosseum.
And go way down.
you ever ridden a baggy?
Have I ridden one?
Not concrete, it's like rough. Imagine riding it.
Okay, so this is,
saying.
yeah, this is,
There's some running it.
this is Titus's arch, and we're going up there.
Cheating.
Some shade here to overlook the Roman Forum.
You getting this verbal?
No, I can't get that, it's only in my ear.
According to the tradition, the city of Rome
The Roman Forum.
was founded up there. If you want to take advantage of the shadow given by the olive trees there,
And
go like
this is where the city
The
of
left-hand
Rome was
side?
found.
the Palatine, where the city of
Palatine.
Rome was founded and where the emperor lived.
So we're on Palatine
Then the
Hill.
Romans, as I've said, occupied the hill which was across the valley. A hill which, at least this is what we know from the ancient Rome, a hill which looked like it
So this is Caesar's Forum
because
from up
forum
here.
comes from fora. That means outside, because it was outside the prehistoric city. The Roman Forum
Okay.
was
You get
all
Emmanuel's
through
too.
the
Yeah.
centuries the heart of the city, the core.
And there's Emmanuel's
Till the time
monument.
of Julius Caesar, Rome wasn't a monumental city. It was important, full of people, rich, but
Now we're walking down from Caesar's Forum, and there's the Colosseum, and that's where we're heading. This is the Arch of Constantine. And it was the last Roman monument built. Of course, he divided the empire and moved the capital to Byzantine and then Constantinople, and this was it. This is the last great monument of the empire. Okay, this is the inside. 50,000 people to fit here. It was begun by Vespasian and ended in 8 years by Titus, his son. And this is down below. The floor that was over this was made of parquet. It was made of wood, and there were trap doors. And then the floor was covered with sand, and sand in Latin is arena, and that's where it got its name. It's down below. The gladiators were war prisoners, and the common people got in through the gates, and when they walked in, they were given a wooden board or plaque, and on it, it had a gate number, and that's how they knew where to go.
Yeah, these are $10.
So this is where they came, all the animals from down here. And the gladiators too. And this was the seats of the emperors and the important people. And these were the seats, some of the original seats that are still left. So that's what it would have looked like.
hundreds and hundreds of cats. But actually, cats are all over where there are archaeological ruins. But in this case, the cats were fed by the owner of the snack bar that was on one of the
This is the Basilica of Maxentius,
The Basilica of Maxentius.
a Roman emperor.
A Roman emperor. And this is what it looks. Wait a minute.
Can you get that?
Hold on. Yeah, there you go. Walk like that. Okay, I got it now. And then I'm going to move it out the way.
And only this is left.
Move it out the way.
Some of those wild flowers are as pretty as
That's what it looks like now.
There they go. Walking in the forum. And that was the palaces
No, I don't get any difference in that.
No, I know.
of the emperors. Are they in the picture? These are archaeologists and they're digging things up. And oh, that's so interesting. Oh my God, I'd love to be doing that. I guess they're digging down there. I don't know what they're digging for. This is the temple of Antonio and Faustina, and I don't even know what that means. I just know what it is.
This is the temple of Romulus, not Antonio. And this this is the temple of Antonio.
Faustina.
And who?
Faustina?
And Constina.
Faustina.
And Faustina. Are you impressed?
There's a difference in the bits. Yeah, I took 2 years ago. There's no way for these 2 years. There's 3 columns. There's 3 columns. Oh, here we go.
This is the temple of Vesta, an arch of Augustus.
Oh, I can't read. Can't see actually.
It says at this point where the ground begins to rise toward the slopes of the Palatine, there stood a temple that was of utmost importance to the city and her population, for it was dedicated to the goddess who was the protectress of the family and thus also of the state, the temple of Vesta.
I don't know what it is.
But I haven't gotten.
Well,
It's really hard to.
Whatever it is, that's what it is.
What is this one?
That's the up on the hill is the imperial
palaces.
palaces.
Oh, okay.
So those.
That's what.
Oh, it's labeled too. I see a sign.
Okay, move it out the way. Oh, you want another one of it? Okay, that's what it looks like now. That's what it looks like now.
Interesting, right?
And this, all right, move it out the way. And this is what we see now. Boom.
This is the temple of Castor.
But if she let the eternal thing was going to go out, they had to kill her. But again, you can still work life. Holy, what you're doing, you know, I'm just saying. Okay.
Okay. I have no idea where I am, but it was blocked off, so I had to go over the fence. There, hello there. Casa de la Fastala. There's Mom. Everybody else. Oh. And show you where I am. Right next to the 3 columns where Caesar was cremated.
Here's that temple of Antonio and Faustina again.
I don't think
and
so, Larry.
There's some green doors. See how far down this is? That's ground. And then at one time, the ground level was right below that door.
No, it wasn't, Gate. You see where the columns are?
No.
The guy just said.
When it was buried.
So
the
that's
ground
how
level
far they had to, it was covered.
dig it out.
Okay.
Well, okay. We're taking a picture of a tomb, but we have no idea whose tomb this is.
Might be Caesar's. Said.
They think
No.
it said
Well,
The sign said.
The sign said that something was Caesar, so.
well, maybe, who knows? This is, Caesar was cremated, but maybe this is where his ashes were put.
Probably so.
If so, we'll have to find out what this is. Only thing is, it's in Italian. And here we are, walking through the Forum. I don't know what this is, but this is in the book.
And here's the new site. The Basilica Ivrea. Hey, Benny.
What you want?
There's our tour directors.
Oh, this. Ryan's taking pictures of seagulls.
This is the temple of Jupiter and so this is the temple of Saturn and Concord. There's the other one, but we can't really figure out which is which. So that's either Saturn or Concord, and vice versa for this one. It's hard, isn't it?
Wait a minute, don't flip it.
And they're up ahead waiting.
Alright, this is way back when, and this is now.
Flip it. Wait, let it flip the page. Well, flip the page, guys.
Flip the page. There you go. There it is now. Do it again. Right, like go back.
Go back.
Okay. That's then. This is now.
There you go.
All right.
Hit the DNA, hit the one.
All right.
This is the bridge of the Tiber. They let water come through here. Like little canal kind of thing.
Take the sign over there.
Yeah.
The tall one.
This is Saturn, the tall one. And Concord is where? Over there?
Yeah.
The other one.
That one. This is the Caesar Arch. Close up. Good. This is looking through the Caesar's Arch.
All right, here's the opposite end of the Forum. And a goodbye picture.
Here's the view here.
Yeah, I'm going to do that then.
Newlyweds. Yay. Newlyweds.
Shot of the Forum, Palatine Hill. Right on around. Saturn. This Concord.
Yeah.
Where? Oh yeah.
Concord. Oh yeah, you should be able to. Right, I'm gonna go back. And there's the arch. And the arch is Titus, it's up that way. And there's the Colosseum, if I zoom in. Just zoom all across the room. There's the Colosseum.
I meant the 8th.
There's Athena.
I meant the 8th.
This is in the square right by the Athena, and that's supposed to be Romulus and Remus. And the wolf. Okay, yeah, we will. So this is actually Caesar's Forum right here, but you can't get in there because it looks like they're still excavating in there. And according to the book, which we'll do again, this should be the Senate building. And this on the other side should have been where Caesar was stabbed to death.
Those big ones.
Yeah, he said near.
Yeah, near the Castron Palace. So that's the frame. Yeah, he's right. And just you just looking at the wrong thing.
No.
Which is easy
That's
to
the
do.
ones I was looking at.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
Flowers. That's his tomb. So you saw the flowers inside there, and you saw the tomb. Right? That's his tomb. So people still put those flowers on that tomb there, because that's where he was cremated. Now, let's go backwards. Why was he cremated? And this spot is rebuilding this Senate. Prior to this, there was a Senate just about where we are standing now that burned down. So 44 BC, the Ides of March, he's killed on the steps of the Senate. It's not this connection. Where that temple is, there's nothing. It's a big, long field. There's 300,000 people. And they're all staring at Brutus. He's got the body of Caesar in front of him, right at that spot. And he tells them all, he says, I've killed my best lover for the good of Rome. I have the same dagger for myself if it please the country to need my death.
Okay, this is Trajan's Forum. This is our little guide now, self-appointed. All that is Trajan's. Behind there is Trajan's Tower. There's Trajan's Tower. Trajans no longer at the top. Thank you.
And most importantly, they believed all the baloney I told them. I couldn't believe these people.
Oh, you did tell us some truth.
ShakerTom@hotmail.com.
Tom what?
That's Mussolini where he lived. And the guy said that he tore down all this, move over, stuff, all this. This road is right here for the Colosseum. Said he wanted to see the Colosseum and he back over there. So he tore down all the buildings so he could see the Colosseum. Alright, we're going to attempt to cross the street again.
Holiday West. Holiday Inn West.
Wait, we cross the street? Oh, yeah, cross the street. Those where they stop for you. There you go.
Let's go. Just walk and don't stop. Look, see they pull up right here.
There's one cab.
Scary.
About ready to get into a cab.
And it'll be a very scary ride.
It's maybe the last time we talk to the cabin. Thank God I got this.
I have mine somewhere out.
Sure I have everything. Yeah, how many close calls?
Just like 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Nothing really scary. No, but no worse than New York.
Yeah.
The black olive quite often, that is not a different tree, it's the same tree. The green olive is only harvested earlier than the black olive.
And they shake up to harvest them. I guess they get up in those trees and
You can't eat the olive from the tree. It's not like picking an apple from the tree and putting them out. An olive has to be treated before you can eat it.
that's what they look like.
Now, in the case it's clear enough, but
These are the gardens of the villa.
All the houses which were down on the slope. Till you reach on the left, on the west, the city wall. And on the north, the road, the main road of Pima. To the right, on the east, the contrary, and limited by the presence of monasteries, other monasteries, you know, the churches. Another magnificent church. On this slope, there were houses that said he bought them all, he destroyed. So,
On.
as he dreamed, but as he never succeeded to be. So now, we have in front the 100 Fountains Boulevard. Now we go down to the lower level.
This is another fountain in Tivoli. It's on like the second level.
I'm sorry.
And it's starting
I'm
to
sorry,
rain.
but, you know, mother-in-law that comes to Rome, so...
This is our dinner in Tivoli. It's about 8:15 in the evening. It's our crew over here. And this is another crew from somewhere, or they can eat. You know, huh? That's the way that all the ladies like have been pinching their butts. That's him, Mr. Butt Pincher. Love it if he's pinching by his butt. St. Francis of Assisi.
10 minutes.
Huh?
That's a quick 10 minutes.
St. Francis of Assisi Cathedral.
In front of the lower basilica. The basilica, you have to go up the stairs, and there is the main entrance to the upper basilica. There are a lot of frescoes about the life of
The upper level of St. Francis of Assisi. This is the Po River, the world's biggest river in the world, biggest river in Europe.
Italy. Actually, Italy.
Venice, we're here on a Thursday. This is Venice, Thursday, June 14, 2001. We just arrived here. Supposedly the weather's getting ready to change, so I hope we can get this gondola ride in pretty soon. Doesn't look good over there. We see enough of them on the bus.
Very easy. Otherwise you have two groups of musicians and they're going against each other.
This is our gondola. Yay! Hello. One little street, one little canal street here. Any of our group went that way? Oh, I said it. Very neat building here. Is this a taxi coming? Yeah. Yeah. This is a taxi, yeah. We all stick taxi. 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 More importantly, there's lightning in the area.
Yeah, we hear thunder. We didn't see lightning.
But that means
I know what it means, but we haven't seen it.
going to the outboard motor. One traffic light coming up, and we have the green light. See if it'll change. Hope it changes. And we got the green light. Yeah, zip that up, huh? Like the old. This looks like the oldest section here. The metal bridges coming across. Huh? Oh yeah. Dirty drawers. I hear some more. This is neat. Trash in the water. Trash in the water. Yeah, I'll get it. Get some more dirty drawers. Here's some good laundry. Hey, little streets. Man, first. We have to.
He said don't move. I'll jump in if I have to. He said don't move.
No, I want to take a picture.
I'm sorry, but I can't move.
It's very, very good. Good clearance. You have the camera?
Right. Got it.
Italian flags, huh? Good. French, Italian. A dread. It's a dread, yeah.
No, it's actually.
Take a picture. Take a picture. Watch the camera.
Oh, I can't.
What happened? Hey.
Wait, hey, y'all think I need a bridge?
One,
two, three.
Here we are in Venice. Here's the famous Bridge of Sighs, the only covered bridge in Venice, where the prisoners would walk, going from courthouse to prison, and go over the bridge. Doge's palace. Doge means duke. And he was the representative for the island of Venice, but he didn't have any real political power. He just was the ambassador, so to speak. And at one time the prisoners were in the same palace as the Doges and other government officials. Okay, and this is a better picture of it. And then finally they gave the prisoners their own prison because they didn't want to live with them anymore. And there's St. George's Island out there where the presidents come. And he had meetings. The Reagans were there. And shortly they're going to have
the person getting in town, they're waiting for the arrival of someone.
Okay. This is our group. And this is St. Mark's Square. This is the bell tower, which I'll try to get later if I can be here for 10. It was a watchtower. And the two buildings on each side, that side later, and then this side earlier, were the office buildings and quarters for the officials of Venice. And at one time, this was not a square. It was a canal and a garden, and then they redid it. In the back is a museum, and they're having some exhibit. And when Napoleon came to Venice, he actually took over that building right there, and he used the bottom floor, which is just apartments, as a ballroom. So the whole bottom floor of that was made into a ballroom because that's what he wanted. And this is St. Mark's Church, and they have mosaics all over the outside. Now this mosaic is an earlier mosaic. I don't know if we can get this, but the statues are still, and the little pieces of glass are actually small. And they've all been redone. And this one right here is later because the glass pieces are actually bigger and the figures aren't static, they move. And I can find it up there. Up there is the lion, which is the symbol of Venice, of St. Mark. And St. Mark actually died in Alexandria, and they wanted his body, and so they went to go get it, and it was all Muslim territory, and the Muslims didn't eat pork, so they covered his body with pork, and when the Muslims saw it, they of course said that they could go straight through, and that's how they smuggled his body back here to St. Mark's Square. And I don't know where it is, it must be in the church. I forgot this. This is the bell tower, but it's not really the bell tower that is in the camera. It's just a covering for it as it would look, because behind that they're doing restoration. And this is a 14th century clock, if you could see it real. So you just have to imagine that it's behind me. And a 14th century clock is a clock that has 24 hours and astronomical symbols on it. After that, after the French Revolution, they had clocks with regular 12 hours on it, 12 hours on it.
And there we are now
In Venice, the last.
How about that?
Hey.
So if you are leaving that piece a couple of seconds longer outside, it breaks right away.
Oh, glass. That duct there. It's illegal? No. Oh. That duct there is $300 and something.
You have to put the roughly
$1,200. These clowns are $150. This is the line to the bathroom. This is the entrance to St. Mark's Square by those two round pillows. That's St. Mark's Square right there. through those two pillows, and it's like Mardi Gras with all the people. I don't know if you can see from here. That's the Basilica of St. Mark's right there.
Okay, this is the Symphony in Venice. The Mafia burned down the first one because it cost too much money to replace it, and they wanted to get out of the contract, so they burned it down. So they have this tent thing here. This is the countryside. We're going from Venice to Innsbruck. And this is all wine, grape vines down there. Just a whole field of grape vines. Now we're getting up to the mountains. More grapes. Agriculture around here. Just vines and farms and red top houses. This must be really good grape growing country because now all we're doing is grapes. There's a river. This is just a little ways further down the road, and we're starting to get up there now.
I don't think there's any particular.
It's pretty high.
That's probably high.
This is grapes. You got grapes still.
There's a house with the grapes in it.
Where is it? Oh, that's a house up to its roof in grapes.
I'm not sure what I'm asking.
This is not the Brenner Pass yet, but in fact it is a very narrow valley. You can see it. And in the old days, in medieval times, this was a toll road. It still is, I mean, modern times. But they built castles along the road, and if you could control a certain area.
Okay, we're heading closer to Brenner Pass. And there, up on that mountain, is a castle.
Focus on.
I don't know, something's wrong. Anyway, I'll see if I can get that better. It's that castle on that hill.
They had the hall, all that material, all that kind of.
Coming up in front of us, behind the street now, but in a moment you can see it again. And before, we're always involved in the making of wine and liqueurs and beer brewing process. And here you have another beautiful example of
right here
what they could build. They don't do it anymore like that.
Get to your crops on the side of the mountain.
Reminds me of a story. You know, if you are a monk,
Yeah, me too.
all kind of orders. You have seen
This is the most beautiful.
the Franciscan birthplace, you can say, of the Franciscan order. You have the Benedictine order. There are many orders, and those monks quite often they live years back to the head of the monastery. And in 3 words, again, he can say, as he says, Maastricht is hard. Okay, well.
Here we are, still driving along.
Truck's coming.
Yeah, that's it. Scenery that we're seeing. Outside of the window. Little houses all over the mountains. And there comes some big ones. I'm following this little stream. It's really flowing pretty fast. It's all up in those trees. Okay, here we are, just
Get ready to
getting
turn it
higher
off.
and higher.
All right, turn it off.
Big old high mountains over there. Okay, here comes Gert running out. We're stopping here at the Austrian border, and he went in to get our permit.
Permit for run a pass. Yeah, for Austria.
For Austria.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, here also they took half the bridge away.
Oh my God. There is no ground under us. Oh, there comes some.
Reminds me to another story. Well, I mean, I don't know when it'll come well, but this is about a priest and a reverend. You may think what has it to do with driving here on the Brenner Pass, but the end will tell you the clue. But it's about a priest and a reverend. They die at the same time, and they arrive at the gate leading to heaven, and they knock on the gate on the door, and St. Peter opens.
They keep fine.
Well, there's the stream. It's pretty rough,
Great
too.
white water raft.
Yeah, that would be good for kayak and a whitewater raft, and it's swift. Okay, the stream is out there.
Hi,
A
Everett.
bridge down there somewhere.
In front of those mountains,
I don't know
you
if
have
I'm
the
getting
valley
anything.
of the river, the Inn. This is the last bottleneck for us. The toll for the Brenner Pass.
Okay, actually, we're just getting ready to start the Brenner Pass. We haven't been in the Brenner Pass yet. We're just getting ready to go there. All right, so we're just getting ready to go into the Brenner Pass, but we have to pay a toll. I guess those are the donuts.
7,000 for 9 miles.
Anymore. So that is the way it is, and then we have dinner, and then after dinner you can walk back to the Golden Roof or to the downtown area. There are places where you can sit down, have a drink. It is a very... Turn to the left.
The Golden Roof. The Hofbrauhaus. The Hofbrauhaus in Munich. Saturday morning. Go around the Hofbrauhaus.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's now going to be very important that you know how the building of the Hofbrauhaus looks like, okay? the Hofstraal house. Opposite of Planet Hollywood. Okay? So, there are two names you have to remember because that's where we meet. We meet here at 11:30. 11:30 we meet here. 11:30 in 1 hour and a half.
The Hofbrauhaus Munich, Saturday. All right, the Hofbrauhaus. There.
This is the section we're supposed to meet Gert at. It's Planet Hollywood, right next to the Hofbrauhaus. Where's everybody? There's Gert. There's Mom.
Hofbrauhaus in Munich, standing out here waiting to go to the bus. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Planet Hollywood.
Style, isn't it? And then this guy. Shaped like a piston? Yes, it is. And don't ask me anything about cars because I don't rate friendship between the nations, but it is not always like that. Especially the 1972 one was a different story. Terrorists, they kidnapped sportsmen, Olympic Village where they stayed. And they took them hostage. Then negotiations started. Then
this is the 1972 Olympic Village, where they had the terrorist activities. And Olympic Village being renovated. Olympic Village. Big, huh? This is Ludwig II summer home. Slightly excessive. Slightly excessive. Bitte schön. Ludwig II. French duck. That's what we call them. This is our bus. We're stopped off here at Ludwig's summer home, and I just wanted to get a picture of the bus. That's our, of course, Gert and Oscar, our driver. That's our bus. A little bit excessive, huh? That's Oscar. And get a picture of all the poor people here. Picture of all the poor people. Hey, hey. All the poor people here. Hurry up, mother-in-law. Poor people.
You don't let her say that to you.
Playmate material, baby. Playmate material.
This, and the cushion on this one keeps moving.
I think because when people try to get up here, they fall in the seat and it probably broke it, like from the back row.
Down in the front, down in the front. Oh, one in the corner. Two in the corner. Palace.
The servers, you know, the horse tables.
Nymphenburg Palace. Walking up the street, we just got off the bus. It's Saturday afternoon, 10 after 5. And the rain has stopped. And I don't know exactly where we're going. I think to see a church. I don't know what I'm looking at here, but
There you see the Castle of Heidelberg, which was built between the 1400s, the early 1400s and the late 1600s. The oldest part is the part on the right-hand side, which was destroyed by the French. The middle part, the best preserved part, is Renaissance Baroque style, and that is going back to the early 1600s. This is old Heidelberg. This is the main street. This is the corn market where they had agricultural products in the old days being sold. You see now beautiful flowers and that kind of chestnut trees or something like that.
corn market.
When we go further down, if you like, I mean, you can walk in your own pace, but this is the direction. You turn to the left. Okay, there's this
Corn market. I think we better get out the street here. Another shot of the castle here. Street going down to the Rhine River. That's Neckar. Rhine River's up ahead, I think, huh? And that's a house on the other side of the Neckar River. Somewhere in Heidelberg, going towards the shopping area for the tourists.
Okay, this is the main square, this is the Church of the Holy Ghost, this is the main church of Heidelberg. If you would like to go inside, maybe it's open, I'm not sure, but you have to walk all the way down on the left hand side of the church, and there is the door going inside, okay? And then you, if you prefer, you can have a look inside if you like that.
Souvenir shopping.
Well, I'm going to find a man.
This is some hotel. Just looks good. I thought I'd take a picture. It's inside the shopping area in Heidelberg in the corn market area. This is the Rhine River. And, some castle up here. This is Sunday morning, 9:30. So just stopped raining. We're heading upriver, about an hour and a half cruise. It's still very pretty. But wet. Pretty good current, as you can tell. Looking at here, but it sure is pretty. Oh, this is pretty, huh?
Construit en de l'usine au XIe siècle. Détruit en 1689, et en 1834, le
That should be the Euro train here. Yeah. The Euro train. Maybe this is the Euro train, we're not sure. The other one might have, yeah, the other one might have been a local. the vineyards are over here. The grape bushes.
Bacchus, précisément Bacchus Ara, de Bacchus. On voit aussi des parties de murs encore bien entretenues et le vieil tour de défense du XIVe siècle. Sur l'entour, le château Stalag.
It's a ruin. Schoenberg. Yes. Destroyed in 1689.
Tell him he still parties.
Now, during the war, did they hit places like these? Probably not.
Celtic ruins. That's part of that wall.
Well, I see, yeah.
There's some gold in those hills somewhere. This is the Laurelon rock.
Who were passing by on the Rhine were attracted by her voice and her beauty so much that they lost sense of control over the boat, hit the rock, and drowned in the Rhine. Here, at the Rohrer Massive, the Rhine has also its deepest part, with a depth of over 25 meters. You will hear now the famous Lorelei Massive.
Look, gay people have inscribed into the rock.
Getting chilly.
The Laurelon Rock. People camping right on the Rhine. Castle that Napoleon either built or destroyed. Lorelei. Sunday, about 1 p.m. This is the cathedral in Cologne, Germany. I've been here before, just don't remember the inside at all. It's a really Gothic type. It's Gothic type architect. Very pretty, very old. It was saved, of course, during World War II. One of the few things not bombed out.
Okay, this is the Cathedral of Cologne, Germany. So like St. John the Divine.
That's a new organ. That's a new organ then.
Oh yeah, it looks like it.
Please fill out the box that you were on the HY607, alright, because we get so many of those questionnaires in that it is easier for the quality control office to see that it is coming from this tour. HY607, there's a little box on the top right corner.
Okay, we're in the streetcar in Amsterdam, and we need to go to Doma. And we are
Well, we can go to the station.
over there. So that's we got our ways. There's our friends.
station early on.
That must walk out.
The red light district, Amsterdam. Red light district, I got proof that they were here. Okay, get out of the way, boys. Evidently they don't steal much around here. Hey everybody, we all gonna wave? Oh yeah, this is Dam Square, D-A-M, Dam Square, about 2 blocks from the red light district. Some festival going on here. We have, well, we don't know how long. Catching a bus back to the hotel.
Building where Anne Frank's father had his grocery shop. The building where they hide, that's not this, where the very wealthy merchants in the 1700s constructed their buildings. They lived along this canal. If you would have a look at the floor plan of Amsterdam, it has a very simple floor plan. Because the heart of town, that's where nowadays our royal palace is. It's called Dam Square, but we'll see that on with the coach. All these canals that we're on, all these canals start at the harbor, they go in half a moon shape around that Dam Square, and they end. And that building which has these green sun shutters, that's the one with the step cable in the shape of a staircase. These doors always lead towards the basement, because in the 1700s the kitchen was always situated on the
17th century buildings.
And we're going to pass on the right hand side a tiny little bow bridge called the Skinny Bridge. And when you have a look underneath that Skinny Bridge, you can see those buildings in order. Those are our locks, and via those locks fresh water is let into our canals. Skinny Bridge, just named that way because whenever we have some coats of arms, the red shields with the black bands and the 3 white St. Ambrose crosses. And that is the coat of arms of Amsterdam. A black band brings the no lake.
These are houseboats where people live.
Our meaning. But after the war, our Queen gave them a different meaning. The left-hand side, the one with the sign Heineken, and the one with the green sign Margaret's, the black brick one. They are.
These houses are leaning.
A little bit. We call that the dancing of the houses.
Houses are leaning.
When you're a house owner and your house starts to dance, you have 3 opportunities. The first one is an invention on our river.
A pull do. A Louisiana pull do, a Boudreaux.
The side. interior or exterior, it means that they use
another houseboat.
3 buildings. Because although they are leaning, they won't lean all 3.
Waterloo Flea Market.
A flea market.
Waterloo Flea
We have
Market.
16 open street markets in Amsterdam, and on the street market you buy everything from fresh vegetables to second-hand clothes. We are slowly passing through the red light district, ladies and gentlemen. We got more than one in Amsterdam. We got actually we got 4.
Red light
But
district.
prostitution in the Netherlands, that is in front of us, but on the left. With those kinds of boats, we went to our former colonies, Indonesia and Suriname, near Hastings.
This is the Amsterdam.
And this boat
Not the
was built by
original.
400 has the chicken next to it. On the other side, the other corner, we have Neptune, the god of the sea, with a trident in his left hand. And he has a face to bought that floating restaurant at the same time. After 800 years, that boat started to sink just a little bit. Is illegally docked. There's one problem, he can't move it. Because if he wants to move that boat, City Council has to take 2 bridges out first. And they refuse to do that because that costs them too much money. Still, he has 5 years to move that boat. That's his problem. No one's going to do that.
Wait for 5 years and see what happens.
They give you a good deal in 4 years.
Days when the man left with their rowing boats towards the big boats, they departed from that tiny tower. And that's why it's called the Gate of Tears, because the women were standing on top, waving and crying their husbands goodbye. Actually, it's called a gate which stands on a very sharp corner, but that doesn't sound that nice. Part of the first defense boundary, in the days, Amsterdam used to have that a little bit. That is a weather vane, so that's why they constructed a special wide parking place for them. And that one is coming up in front of us where we're going to dock the boat. Of course that one is free of charge, because otherwise they would still park their bikes in front of the railway station. A lot of bikes because a lot of people that work inside Amsterdam, they live outside Amsterdam. They take the train towards the railway station. Yeah, then you have a
Bicycles parked.
We return where we started from.
Think about the airplane ride tomorrow.
Well, that's why I'm going to get smashed tonight. That way I'll sleep. Got a bike. Was that finished? That's the one you had one left?
Yeah.
And Brian's got the other one? No.
16
Coming from Germany. It's called canals here. Those were the canals that we're on. There's one here on the right hand side. Have a quick look. It used to be a prison. That was the worst prison in Amsterdam. That's because when we still had the tides, it meant that that prison was underneath the water for approximately 30 centimeters. Largest church tower in Amsterdam. Church towers in the Netherlands never belonged to the church. All the church towers belonged to 1656 until 16. So much art in Amsterdam. Approximately 6,000 monuments are spread through the 17th century. The designer of that monument placed 5 monuments spread through the city centre of Amsterdam. 2 were removed, City Council didn't like them. 3 are still there, but we don't know the artist's name. First one is...
This is the Rijks Museum in Holland, of course.
Dutch painters, of course, and they're all been made during the 1700s until I say otherwise. This one was made by Frans Hals.
They were as white as possible. That was just the fashion of the day.
When you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, it's called the Night Watch. And the Night Watch was painted by Rembrandt. Rembrandt was commissioned by a group of wealthy merchants, which were also a civic guard. They paid him for that painting. When Rembrandt finished it, he never ever named his paintings. He just gave it to the persons who commissioned him for it. The painting was placed in the building where they were situated, above the fireplace, and the painting became
Yeah. It's a guy all the way to the top. Yeah.
Saint Nicholas. Protestants do not worship saints. To emphasize that he was a Catholic, his little daughter, she got a doll from St. John the Baptist. St. Nicholas, according to the tradition, has a big book where he writes down how the children behaved throughout the years. And if you behaved badly, it meant, of course, that you didn't get any presents. They're mocking him. If you have a look at his grandmother, she's over there. She's telling him to come. She probably has a present for him behind the curtain. Once St. Nicholas arrived, handed over the presents, and when he goes away again, the children, besides the North Pole, he was born in Turkey. He's a Turkey saint who lived 460 after the birth of Christ, and he saved the lives of 4 children. And that's why the Catholics in the Netherlands started to worship Saint Nicholas. All right. In that frame, the little hole, and everything Vermeer saw when he was looking through that little hole in the center, he painted it. He measured as well everything, so it had the right proportions. It took him a very long time before he finished the painting. Some of you might recognize this painting because it's known in the United States. It's on the cigar boxes. It's called the Dutch Masters in the United States. It's called the Syndics, not the Dutch Masters. But still, painted by Rembrandt. And when Rembrandt started to work at the painting, he asked this group of persons where that painting was going to be placed. And they told him above the fireplace. Rembrandt took that in consideration, and that's why everybody's looking down. There's one servant, and the servant is of course the one without the head. And Rembrandt had difficulties placing that man, because when he started to work at the painting, that man was on the right, was probably on your left, in the corner. He didn't like that, so he painted it over and he moved him to the other side. When the man was here, Rembrandt thought that the painting was unbalanced, so he painted it over once more and finally put him in the center. This group of men controlled the quality of cloth. That's what they did, and that's why it's called Syndics. This painting has 2 signatures. It has an original signature and it has a false signature. Because when Rembrandt finished the painting, most of the time a painter signs his painting first, and then he puts varnish over to protect it. Rembrandt forgot that. So he first put varnish over, and then he found out that he didn't sign the painting, and over the varnish he wrote down Rembrandt. But varnish is a natural material. Good varnish lasts approximately 150 years. Then it dries as the original signature. But if you have a good look at the painting, you'll see these little cracks. When the painting starts to crack, varnish dried out. So eventually they're going to take this layer of varnish off as well. When they do that, that false signature will completely disappear, and large parts of the original signature will completely disappear, and large parts of the false one will be taken off as well.
This is a fake signature. Yeah.
You would have painted it. You would have finished it 3 years later.
We must have walked out there. But no, they were coming down the hill. No, I heard it come over there because they were coming around the corner down the hill.
She'll be there to speak in a second.
How was reading? Could have got on real TV. Very good. Thank you, Larry.
It's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, I can hear that you're thrilled already. But to keep you going, we go up. You go up in weight. Pear shape. Again, with color. Beautiful one. SI. Which means very small inclusions. Roughly $3,500 US. It's not a scud. 150. Yeah? And then we have the brilliant cut again, which is 1 carat and 7 points. The pear shape, which is 69 points.
1,000 people in the central parts of Holland because the big rivers they were threatening to
the modern
flood them. Because now you can imagine
just the
practical
lowland,
jokes were
the
of course
polders
taking place in that way.
in Amsterdam.
The friends of the future
There's
room in
houses, and they're surrounded by
prospect
trees
room,
which protect them from
say
the
that,
wind.
but they took the
And
shoes
Gert
away
says
and he
that
thought yes,
they
but it
don't
was
have
still,
very much
not
sunshine
sure what
here.
was her answer.
And they reclaimed all
But
this
they have
land, and they're
wood
about
shoes
9 feet under sea level at this point, and it's just flat. And what they would do is they would build dikes around the land, and then they would
And if
pump
we
out
have
the
a good
water.
winter, and
It's
I mean
called a
with a good
ring dike.
winter, that the
And
canals
some
are
of them
frozen,
still, you can
this
still
is
see them.
skating paradise. We love
There's
skating.
cows out there.
We skate every time it's possible,
See if we can see a levee. I mean a dike.
and we have
That's a dike right there, a levee. That bridge right there.
Looks like a jeep.
Cutting away the point and the heel, we still do it by hand. It's a very nice knife for making wooden shoes, eh? Not only that, it's also a very nice knife if you're a manicure or a pedicure. One treatment with this knife and you will never be bothered again by toenails, for example.
another time go, and then you're
And
under
they
it,
have
and
little
then
canals that go all the way back, and they go here, and then out in the field.
yeah, that is all brand new. It's
It's
here again, farmland sold to
Those
developers.
sheep out there
That's outskirts of Volendam. It's all new. It's built over the 5 years. Over the last 5
There's a
years.
windmill to your right. You're gonna get
Okay,
a shot
now
of
we're
it.
going to stop the bus in a moment. Here's the windmill, the water windmill. Now, when you look to the left in a moment, you see there a kind of little canal.
No rain. No rain means no work, means no...
Yeah.
You know I like rain? I like rain because you are now in the real Dutch watermill, and that means the mill gets its power from...
This is the upper part of the windmill. The cog, all wooden cogs that turns the blade.
You gotta go down backwards, just like you came
The big shaft.
I know, that's right there.
Okay, now go really slow.
Watch your head. This whole thing will rotate.
Now don't get tripped up on your feet. There you go. Just keep going. Stop right back.
Larry, did you come up?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm about to roll up my.
This whole thing rotates. If the wind is coming from the opposite direction, those wheels will rotate this entire mechanism in whatever direction they want to, which also rotates the outside blade.
We're at the top of the windmill. And out there,
Oh gosh, man. He's got those big
jeez, that's the Zyder Z. It's houses. Oh, there we go. Didn't focus. There's the Zyder Z out there. And there's a house and cows. Okay, and I'm up in the windmill again, and this is the blades going around. And that's the countryside. And that's the rest of our tour down there, waiting for us.
What? Take him going down.
Take Grandma going down. That'd be funny.
Let's see. 100 pennies is one guilder, yeah? Yeah. Just.
Do what?
Don't you fall, mother-in-law.
Put my foot on the fourth step?
Wait. That's a good shot right here. 20,000 gallons a minute. He said, oh, an hour, huh?
Jesus. This is the windmill that we were just up in.
17 to 20,000 gallons of water per minute it's capable of doing.
And this is a sheep
Show the dike over here.
outside of the windmill.
And that's the
And
dike.
this is the dike. And
Better view on
beyond
the
that
left.
dike is the Zyder Z. So the windmill is pumping the water from behind us to in front of us out to the Zyder Z, which was part of the North Sea. But 20 years ago,
Right there.
but 20 years ago they did it
comes
up,
the
and here
battery
comes a
car.
battery car.
Yeah, we just visited that windmill.
Well, if you go immediately tomorrow, it could travel okay, but the smoked cheese will travel.
Those houses are worth $400,000 or so. Very expensive.
$1,000 house.
This is the dike. And what is this, the L or Z or something?
Zyder Z.
This is the Zyder Z, which around 20 miles out is the end of it, the North Sea. So all this is reclaimed land here, but this is their levee or dikes. This is their dikes, and we call them levees. And right above there is a highway, right on the top of the levee. And those steps that go up to the top. And that's it. And we're going to spend some money. Hey, Gay, wave to me. Hey, a rabbit.
Yeah.
Look.
Okay, don't turn it off.
Oh, keep going.
Okay, so up above us is a kind of commercial area where you get your souvenirs, and now we're walking down some steps into the actual old fishing village part of town, because this is the part that was actually built in the 1600s and is still here, and it's actually a fishing village.
Very nice.
This is actually the old fishing village of Volderdam, and you just came out and it's just, oh, looks like a church. And it's quiet, and it's cute, and it's old, bricks. And it's pretty chilly too. Gee, look at those flowers.
Holland was the coldest.
Uh-oh, a bicycle. Here's more water. Can't go very far without getting into water.
Yeah.
So it's down this way. Huh. This is really cute. And just to give you an idea of all these crazy Dutch names. Ah, bicycle. Goes on pretty far. We'll probably get lost back up in here. And everything is really small. It's just this little bitty door. And there's this little bitty alley way back up in there. And this looks like a backyard.
An alley going to the
There's just steps.
3 feet of backyard.
That's it. This looks like somebody's
Very nice.
backyard, I guess. And windows and all sorts of stuff out here. Oh. It's a little decorated.
One guy is fishing. Will he catch anything?
I might go back in here and get me one. I'm gonna go back in and get me a little tulip thing. It's only $4.50.
Okay, this is the Coup restaurant. Coup.
You're sitting all right here. It's good. So,
There it is.
sorry?
You want to sit over there?
Some guy, you know the guillotine? So they come starter and they will ask who the non-first people are, and from there you get the soup and
Remoulade sauce, yeah.
The Johnsons had to move because the Spanish ladies over here wanted to sit together. So they had to sit over here. And he made a strategic placement.
Strategic
Maneuver, yes. Because of...
I don't know.
Okay, we're still in the Coup restaurant. This is our food.
Oh, well, wait, lift this up.
Wait, this is it. There we are. Raw fish. And this is herring. That's herring. And pickle. And that's more raw fish, which is actually not that bad, considering.
And that's raw shrimp.
Stuff that Dad almost puked on.
And Ryan.
And Ryan.
Ryan spit out.
He thought it was shrimp.
Raw shrimp. And some kind of, this is herring. Herring.
And that was the good stuff. That was the cheese, right there. So.
Remoulade sauce.
And Grandma ate the whole piece of...
And 2 pickles. And flushed it down with...
She ate that whole thing with 2 pickles. She's a brave woman.
You're right. If I had a napkin, it wouldn't have been in my stomach.
Boy, can you imagine what they would look at a social crowd?
There's a waitress with the costume. More to come later. Okay, this is Dad. His hands are spotless. All white. The last time you'll see it.
These hands are as clean as Ryan's. Close.
Okay, the entree was a little bit better.
Very good.
Very good?
Fine fish.
That's a little bit of a glimpse. That was a fish.
Same fish with mom and
That was steak pictures. What? Before and after pictures. Of what?
After what?
After eating steak. It was ground. With potatoes too. And that's it. I don't know.
I saw a bunch of tourists I thought on it.
This is a boat. We just finished eating supper. It's about 7:30. And we saw this boat out in the bay. I want to give you a look at the sun. 7:30 in the evening, and the sun is way up in the sky. This is it. Going back to the bus. Final drive back to the hotel. It's over.
He must have asked 10 times and it was all right.
Yeah, I know.
And then he came out, so I was sitting down and stuck his head out and said, was everything all
Maybe that's all the English he knows. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You got a thorn in your lip.
Oscar.
I don't know what that is. Hey, Jack.
Oh, we don't have stores?
Hey, Jack.
Wanna take a picture? Oh, yeah. I wonder if it's gonna rain. Yeah, I'm like freezing. You wanna take one?
Okay.
It's crazy.
Your bags are gone, by the way. Oh no.